Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play. Miles doesn't remember this, he remembers this guy, but he doesn't remember his name. AKA Ace Investigations Part 31. Wait, cause you're like a Jacob or a Jake or like a Jingleheimer Schmidt type fella, you know? Because you got like a Kyle look, but you're not a Kyle. I don't remember. I'm in a really big pickle, your lordship. The raven, it appeared, poof, and then disappeared, swoosh. And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, I'm so confused, I don't know what anything means anymore. Me during, any case. Me during, was it last video? I remember I got really confused about something. Oh yeah, the knife thing? Which, I don't know. I'll somewhat take the L for that, but the fact that they say, hey, there's 3 of them, and then you see there's 3 of them, and then they're like, actually, no, there's 3 others, is, I feel like that's a little confusing, but whatever. Who is this fruitcake? Larry! Yeah, you got a bit of a Larry vibe. I was thinking like a Ned, because Ned and Larry, they're pretty much the same name. And I was kind of thinking Ned, so we basically got it. I am Larry of the House of Butz, married man of the Neo-Old Tokyo, milady. Now I remember. This person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Whoa. He's Wright's friend. And we're Wright's friend. So he's like a mutual acquaintance. Yes, friendly enough, he is. I'm trying to think, what case were you in that... Well, I know you're in the last case of the 3rd game, right? I feel like I remember you being like a follower character. And I guess Francesca's in that. Because I'm trying to think, like, when would she have met him? But I'm pretty sure he's in that case. I seem to remember. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud's in a bind and you act like it's no big deal. What sort of bind are we talking about here? The suspect con! I accidentally became a suspect in a murder! I see. That is quite the bind. Well, you know, public defenders are a thing. Have fun. Not that we're in the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butz. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble, with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by 1. I have exactly as many friends as I need, no more and no less. That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry! It was you! You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Oh yeah, you didn't notice earlier? I even winked at you through my headpiece. What's going on and why are you beet red? Is it gonna remove it from my evidence pile? That would be very funny. Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Sorry, am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Because it really should. It should pop up and be like, you know, Steel Samurai autograph removed because now it's worthless to Edgeworth and he doesn't need it anymore. I don't know how we're going to use this man. Well, he is the married man of Neo-Old Tokyo. That is true. That is pretty true. Ah, so this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this childhood friend of yours is our prime suspect. And you know what they say about mutual acquaintances? More like mutual criminals. That's what Long G said, or G Long, whatever my freaking old-timey dude that I'm vaguely related to. It's also about 1,000 billion other people that are related to him because of the way multiplication works. What, you ask? The murder of a man had snuck in this embassy? Mass Damask 2? That sounds vaguely familiar. Or Mass Damask the Second? Mass Damask the Second. Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. Another mask as fine. No matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. It is a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butz is innocent of all wrongdoing. Well, not all wrongdoing. I mean, he is breathing air that could go to somebody else, which is definitely a crime. Shifu, we've identified the victim. Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Long, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me, the lone wolf. So no, you may not take a peek, or whatever it is you Americans call it. But Agent Long. What up, my dude? The only one who hasn't aged? Agent Long. Will you allow an investigator, such as myself, to take a look? Yeah, of course. You let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad! You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you, a detective. You weren't expecting me? Do you really think man such as me would only be in one case? Foolish belief. Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased the Yatagarasu non-stop. Like, Edgeworth looks old as shit now compared to his... Like, they just added like 4 lines on him, and now he looks like he's like 50 years old to me. But Bad man, he is not aged a day. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop in case God was ever found. What incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu MO everywhere. Not the Matagarasu, that's for the sequel. Haha. And his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something that I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you gonna make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info. I am in your debt, Detective Bad. First things first, just a reminder, I'm still a prosecutor. This is still just our side hustle. Detective Bad, I wonder if you might be able to tell me something about this? Sorry, but they don't give hoot about things that aren't related to the Yatagarasu. Heh, looks like nothing about you's changed in the 7 years, huh? Daughter of Von Karma, you're still just sapling of prosecutor, so... I'll have you know that I've already grown into a stately tree of a prosecutor. Is that right? Is he just toying with Francesca? He seems to be enjoying this quite a bit. Okay. Remember this knife? Detective Bad, this is something you absolutely need to see. What is it doing here? I've been looking for that for 7 long years. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine this turn of events. Without a doubt, this means that she is in... What do you mean you're never in your wild... Like, you're here because presumably the Yatagarasu did some shit. So finding something related to the Yatagarasu... I feel like that... I mean, maybe it's not dreaming very well. But, like, I feel like I could dream of that, personally. And I don't even dream. Like, I mean, like, in the literal sense. Like, I don't have dreams, like, most of the time. Like, it's actually extremely rare for me to have dreams. At least that I, like, even slightly remember. Or you're not even like, you know, being aware that you had a dream. Because, you know, you say you don't dream, and then some nerd's always like, well, actually, you always dream. You just don't always remember it. Yeah, fuck you. I'm built different. My brain's busy doing important shit, not showing me hallucinations. That you, woman. Bet you wish you had one of these motherfuckers, don't you? Okay. He's jelly. He's jelly on the inside. He still won't admit it. About the murder of Damas II, would you be willing to fill me in on a few details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Long and I took ourselves off guard duty and put ourselves in charge of directing things at the crime scene. Taking advantage of chaos, Damas II, he broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another. And suppose he lost his life and he was forced to fight someone else in this room? Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, detective? That samurai? He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reason you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he's completely harmless. Well, it was just random guess, not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador Elba was to give commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed. But keep in mind, Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats for the guests who had been called to sit in them were empty. A no-show. Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of entire Steel Samurai family, the family, was to wait in separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in different location than his assigned room at that time. Well, that's just because he's, you know, Larry. And where was he? He was on the roof with one of his legs down a chimney. Well, that's just because the Steel Samurai is kind of like Santa Claus. You're probably not familiar with the lore, but Edgeworth is a certified freak. So he definitely knows that's part of the Steel Samurai's duties. The chimney leads directly into this room. Larry Butz, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? Oh, chimney go wee. In any case, I believe it's time for me to start my investigation. Alright, show me the body. This is the victim, Damas II. What is with this gaudy outfit? You don't know about Mask the Mask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. I mean, I vaguely remember a character being called Mask to Mask, but I don't remember their thing. This thief is separate from the Yatagarasu. I thought they were for a while because their ammo and targets were different. The mask likes high-value trinkets and jewels and being gaudy as his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he would know more. Well, not really, but in theory. That's alright. All I'd hear tales of his failure anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see. So here was Master. Is that a Phoenix case, or is that like an Apollo one? Because, I mean, this game came out after that one, right? I don't really remember any of the cases in the Apollo game, though. Other than the one there's like a guy who's like a noodle dude. I remember him because he walks the path of the noodle, and all people who walk the path of the noodle must be respected, even if they haven't reached the apex of that path. Yeah, I don't remember. And then there's the one with like the singer lady where she's singing. Oh, loud, she's singing, but she's like blind, but she's like not blind, but maybe she is blind. I don't remember. And I'm trying to remember. Ace Attorney 3. I don't remember the first case. I don't remember the second case. I know it was the French guy who was evil because he was French. I believe that was the moral of the story. And then you had the place where it was kind of like snowy or a hot spring type area with red eye man. Yeah, I don't remember what you're from. I do remember that I got to inspect your nooks and crannies though. There's not a single shred of fashion sense in the mask costume. At least I can appreciate the great effort you must have put into making it. You don't know? You can buy this costume almost anywhere. It's being sold? Since when? Gumshoe, jot down that for the Halloween party. Since around New Year's, the streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out the mask is a lot more popular than I thought he'd be. I can let that foolish fool with dressing fools called and act foolishly. Well, you got your point about three foolishes. Oh, we got your point about three foolishes back, Francesca. So this is the murder weapon in this case? Well, maybe. There's blood on the blade. It's rather a sweeping sword, isn't it? You were trying to mock me, weren't you, girl? What did you expect? It's the Steel Samurai's daddy's secondary weapon. The Steel Samurai Daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary because although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight. You should know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai. Call it an occupational hazard. It keeps popping up. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of this sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. I thought that the mask had quit the business. This guy, he's just copycat, using name, a phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is out-of-work guy by name of Kai Shinu. He's 29, wanted on larceny charges. Is there supposed to be guy she knew? It's like a guy that she knew? Or Kai she knew? I don't know. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Demis II. The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Well, maybe. Could be natural causes. Maybe his liver went out. What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear the directions on how to reach the room were written by hand. There's something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Prima statue in this room? What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? Well, it's not to himself, or he didn't write it, presumably. If I had to guess from the text, I would say this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Who was the person that requested the theft of the Prima statue? I suppose it was the wrapping cloth Damas II used to carry his stolen goods. There's nothing wrapped in it now. I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever it was he was out to steal. Well, not necessarily. Little bro got murdered, man. It could have been that it was stolen from, that the thief became the thieving. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I think we're good, right? Yeah. You right. The person shaking hands with the Steel Samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. The Steel Samurai must be very popular. They're even using the National Treasure as a backdrop. I just don't understand what exactly is so great about Top Knot there. Clearly there's a depth to this show that a young person like herself can't fathom. Speaking of young people, Aren't young children the target audience of this show, the costumed actors? A real adult is able to get in touch with the same things as children. It's called being mature, Francesca. One day you'll grow out of your I can't watch anything made for kids because I'm an adult phase. It's a fireplace. By the looks of it, I don't think it's been used recently. Yes, I can't say anything unusual about it. Two gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally lovely name. Miles Edgeworth, you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name. Where I come from, we just call the flowers fucked up shit like Black-Eyed Susan. The joke is domestic violence. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As they say, you learn something new every day. This must be Ambassador Alba's desk. His notebook is open on his desk. He must have been in the middle of some important work. Let's read it. Sapling growth log. It finally sprouted today. Funny, it doesn't look important work to me. Yeah, okay. That's just because you're not an ambassador, you'll understand really deep ambassador shit. The counterpart to the Bobolese butterfly is the Albalastian flower. The butterfly and the flower, they're both lovely things. But can we interpret this to mean that Alabas provides honey to Bobolele? Francesca, can't you come up with a more meaningful or profound comment? Very well then, let's hear what sort of profound comment you can come up with. Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies that spread their pollen. Well, no, I mean they can. They just can't reproduce. And there's other ways to reproduce. There's like the wind and shit, it's just not quite as effective. And butterflies cannot live without the nectar that flowers provide. I mean, that's basically what she said. If either were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. Well, I mean, I think it could be, you're kind of speaking in absolutes. How was that, Miss Von Karma? Your explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Well, let's continue the investigation. Francesca, why can't you just admit I had something there? I mean, you said like what she said in a more wordier way. You know? That's one of the things they teach you in advanced writing is to be concise, Miles. There was the exact same statue sitting in the Bobolese office we examined. It's the Prima Duck statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Cadopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. Both Alabast and Bobble claim to have the real thing. What an incredibly childish fight to have. Yeah, we would never be having childish fights, right? Oh, we're supposed to investigate nooks and crannies. Well, actually, we're gonna not do that. We're gonna commit sacrilege, and we're gonna pause the game. Alright, we're back. In other news, I have a friend and he is very curious. This friend would like to know what the hell is going on. That is why I'm asking this question for them. Why can I deduce? It's a Prima Duck statue. There was one of these on the Bobolese side as well. Well, a fake, of course, because this is the only real one. I hear it's very okay. So we're just looking around, okay? Because I was like, am I supposed to look at this and figure something out? Because I can't figure anything out yet. I hear it's very valuable, made of pure gold. It was a national treasure of Cadopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of these two is a replica, or maybe they're both replicas. Oh, and the real one's already been stolen. But both Alabast and blah, blah, claim to have the real thing and won't budge from their claim. Yeah, they probably claim to have the same knives or whatever. What an incredibly childish fight to have. There was almost the exact same wall mount for the knives on the Bobbly side. I can't see any of the details from this distance. Well, that sounds like a fucking skill issue, my dude. The counterpart to the Bobbly's butterfly is the Abelastian flower. The butterfly and flower, they're both lovely things. Yeah, okay, maybe. If we can interpret this to mean that the Alabas provides honey to Bobbula. Francesca, can't you go with a more meaningful or profound am I having a stroke? Have we had this conversation? Very well then, let's hear what sort of profound comment you can. Right? Because then he says the same shit back at her? Me when my producer says, yo, we need to up the word count for the second investigation. Alright, boss. Got it, boss. Your explanation took so long I nearly fell asleep? Yeah, same. Why can't you just admit I had something? You literally just said the same thing she did. What can I deduce? What we got in this planner? Well, there's a Prima Duck statue. I think that's the one we're looking at. Alright, cool. So, I mean, it's facing a different direction, right? Like, it's... Wait, is it? Okay, because it's facing towards... Yeah, because it's facing away from the knives. And here it's facing, like, parallel, right? Get fucked. Eureka! Eat my ass. Or whatever. Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about this scene, Miss Von Karma. The apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes that top-knot's hand. That's not it. I was trying to point out the statue in the photo is facing a different way. You're right. This statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or secretariat-level person is allowed to handle it. And me, of course, being an ace investigator. The fact the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched this statue around the time of the crime. It was moved during the moita. Yeah. Okay. I didn't talk to you. There's that Larry. There's that Larry guy. There's some plants. These are decorative plants here as well. This room is overflowing with nature. Humans used to live in the grandeur of nature once long ago. I believe I'm not mistaken in thinking those people truly love nature. You know what? I'm gonna say it. They usually cancel people for saying this, but let's bring back the Neanderthals. I think they were canceled a little too early. Let's give them another shot. Maybe evolution fucked up. Let's go back to the start. This coming from a man who loves shows featuring costumed actors. Ah, she just had to go there, didn't she? That Francesca, she's so good. She boomed me. She fucking boomed me. She's so good. What is that plant supposed to be? The ambassador? Come on, can't you tell? Francesca, can't you see it's supposed to be a likeness of Ambassador Alba? See? You think I'm not observant. Miles Edgeworth, a subordinate. You have a lot of nerve. Tell me what to think. I look forward to your salary assessment next month. You would delude yourself if you think you have any control over that. Right? I need to contact my lawyer. You think... think Francesca's gonna make Edgeworth send in an email of everything he accomplished this week? Because I mean, it'd be a pretty good email for this week, honestly. He'd probably get to keep his job, maybe. There was a grandfather clock just like this one earlier in the Bobbly's embassy. You know, symmetry is a fine thing, but their interior design really suffers for it. Really? I think this clock actually fits the decor of this room quite well. Does it? Ain't got like a fucking leaf on it or nothing, man. I suppose the wood does suit the all-natural atmosphere of the room. Its design and material it's made of strikes a good balance of the plants. Yes, but it's not green. Hey, you two! Now's not the time to be talking about interior decorating. Hurry up and save me. Be quiet. Ah! Joke's on you, I'm into that shit. I mean, come on. You know Larry's definitely experimented. This is all part of my elite investigation. All you need to do is be quiet and watch. Actually, I do believe Larry has a point for once. Nah, man. I ain't about that life. You know what I am about? Fucking... Already looked at all this shit, apparently. Of course. What up, G-Man? No matter how hard you try, you'll never be a necessity in our Shifu's investigation. Is that a fact? No matter how good he is bound to overlook something. If you insult our Shifu, then prepare to be punished. Oh, and how exactly would you punish us? Every investigator under Shifu's command will work to disrupt your investigation. Vindictive much? You did some investigating over on the Babalese embassy too, right? I did. Is there a problem? Longji says, a wolf who aims to hunt for 2 rabbits at once. I believe the idiom you require is he who runs after 2 hares will catch neither. Nah, man, that ain't what Longji said. I would know. I read everything he wrote. A real wolf can catch both. I see. What are you trying to say, seeing as how I'm currently handling 2 cases? Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you. There are some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They don't see the counterparts to the Babalese knives, which means the blades inside these scabbards could match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. I'm going to inspect your nooks and crannies now. Yes, it's cranny inspection day. What is that plant supposed to be? Francesca, can't you see it's supposed to be? You're gonna whip me, aren't you? And say you're gonna mess with my salary. I'm just saying, it doesn't have a mark, like I've already clicked on it. It's not very fair. I spot absolutely no difference between this Prima Deck statue and Bobbles. The statue's face looks a bit like that costume here you like so very much. I wonder why you Americans have such an affinity for this kind of face. How about you fucking... You know what? Honestly, you can make fun of America. Now especially. Alright, we're not in a good place. Statue wasn't made by an American, you know? At least I don't suppose so. I mean, you can maybe argue we haven't been in a good place for a very long time, but we're in a particularly bad place currently. It's the Seal Samurai's primary weapon, the Samurai Spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny just like my heart. It comes to you like whoosh. And when you hold it, you just want to live life like Bam. You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it's just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear is up to task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off in the distance. Oh, I get it. It's cause it kind of hooks to the left. Oh, don't worry, Edgy. They all do that. I tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say anything about wanting one? When Francesca leaves, I'm going to give you my P.O. box. Maybe I can shut him up by showing the piece of evidence. That will point something out about this spear. Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this? I wonder why there are no whips on display here. Good question. Knives adorned with flowers on display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts to the Babalese knives. The blades of these knives should match the blade of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. That's the blade, by the way. What? One of the knives is missing its blade! Let's see if the 2 pieces of the blade and handle fit each other. Egad. We constructed that with logic, Francesca. It would appear they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. This means that an Alabastian knife did find its way into Babylon. But how? Maybe the knife is sentient. I don't really know what I can deduce here. Can't see the spear anywhere. I mean, the spear isn't crooked here. Does that count? I don't know if we could necessarily use his doodle as a iron-clad evidence that it didn't used to look like that. But this shouldn't work, but it is an Ace Attorney game, so I had to try it. It's very silly, but it's fitting enough that I wouldn't be mad either way. Eureka! Larry, about this spear. Are you feeling it? Bam! I thought there was something strange about this spear. Spear, whatever. Tell me, Larry, is it just me or is the spear a bit bent? You just told me to get... What did you just tell me to go do, Mr. Edgeworth? That's so rude. Well, no way, it's exactly as it should be, yo. I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. Man, I'm not really like an artist. I'm like an artist, but I'm not like an artist. You know what I'm saying, Edgy? Like I'm an artist in like the broad sense of everything I do is art, but like I'm not an artist in like the pictorial sense. Know what I'm saying? You can see the spear is clearly of a different shape. Ah! What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then during practice I was spinning it, and bam, it hit the wall. You unbelievable. This is an embassy. Yeah? I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. One time, on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man. Larry, clarify that for me, will you? How hot-blooded I am? I guess I could take a fever test. Okay, so it was some field trip and I began to shadow fight with myself, you know, against Dark Larry. Not that, I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, it's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything. It's not what I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. This thing's paper mache. What? Where did that come from? You keep calling it the samurai spear, but it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it, 'cause it's hollow on the inside. Just like the steel samurai, 'cause it's, you know, made to extract value. You can hit it against practically anything and it would bend. Is that so? That just further proves the Steel Samurai is the strongest hero if he's able to fight with such a weak weapon, and is still able to defeat the forces of evil, while also maintaining his status as a married man of Neo-Old Tokyo. He has truly earned my respect and, dare I say, my admiration. Don't tell me you thought it was real. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't think that's part of your personality's cute. I see, your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth. That's not friendship, it's utter humiliation. It's hollow? Bro, that thing is fucking bent, yo. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. I didn't even talk to Larry, man. I mean, I wanted to ignore him as like a power move, but I didn't want to completely ignore him. That's... Yo, Pink Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill? Like in the sick sense, not like a, no, not in the sick sense, you know, not like the movie or nothing, but like in the sick sense, like you're not ill in like the colloquial way of saying that like you're really cool, but like not cool like you're cold, cool as in like you know what I'm saying, right? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastian Embassy a visit. I really am meaning to speak with her as well. Man, I really probably should talk to Larry, man. See, he ain't got no check mark. Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Yeah, what about? I got a few things I gotta ask you too. What is it? Where did this music come from? Mr. Edgeworth, Edgy, whatever I call you? This music just follows me wherever I go. It's like both you and him. How's it the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? And Franzi, what about the promise you made to me? Promise? What promise? The one where you said you would model for my next book, Franzi's Whippity Whip Trip. Ow! She fell right into my hands, cause I'm into that shit. I made no such promise. Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. Something, if it smells, it's the Butz. I remember that. See, I know all the things. When something smells, it's usually the Butz. One needs to look... Now, why I remember that and not the fucker's actual name? Like, why his name didn't pop up in my head when he showed up? No clue. But as soon as Edgeworth, like, alluded to the phrase, that popped up in my brain? I don't know, man. The filing system were real disorganized up there. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. First things first. Larry, I wonder if you might know what this is. Nope, not a clue. You didn't even look at it. Nah, that's because the only thing I can see right now is the form of my lovely Franzi. Oh, in that case, allow me to sear my form into you for all eternity. Oh, you whippity whip trip. This is a trip I'm willing to endorse, especially if we can finally get some peace here. Okay. You don't think about the statue? You used to have something to do with the statue back in the day, remember? Think this one's got a clock in it or something like that? Yeah, get his ass. Okay, last but not least. Hey, it's the Steel Samurai! I want you to answer this for me, Larry. Depending on the answer, I may let you live. The Steel Samurai that was up there on the stage. Was that really you? Yep, sure was. Larry! You! Steel Samurai Sushi Slash. Smooth the performance of this man? This completely useless, worthless bum? I fear I may never recover from this. Oh no. Who the hell? Is that what Master look like? I don't recognize you, if I'm being honest, brother. Your real name is Kaishino. Maybe it's you. That's kind of like Kashi. If you don't think about it in the slightest, it's kind of basically the same name. What's up? As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Loris Dunim? Whatever. That's Dunim. I'm Dunim. Got it? Shaking your head? Or what? I don't. No, man. No, shit. No, man. No. You're the rude pale imitation of a real artist. No. You got it all wrong. I gave up that whole Loris business. Oh yeah, this seems kind of familiar. Cause didn't he like draw a picture? He drew the picture of, like the fire on the bridge. And that's like what you have to team up with him during the one section. When Bangelina left me and my heart in pieces, I have no clue who Bangelina is. That's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me, I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai. Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as the Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of an actress who plays the Pink Princess. You got it. I knew you'd know what I mean, Edgy. Not really. Not so much I understood. A simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Okay, so I guess we don't know the Pink Princess then, because I don't recognize a Mindy. At least the name doesn't immediately jump out to me. I didn't know if the Pink Princess was going to be a recurring character or not. It may be. I just don't remember them until I see them. I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight.
Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too.
Nonsense. I believe you have the mental acuity needed. I do not believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. We're talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. Also, I mean, all you had to do was commit the murder. He got caught. I mean, if we assume he did it. Anybody can murder somebody. Now, actually getting away with it? Well, I mean, it depends. Depends on who you killed, mainly. And then where you killed them. Those are like the two main factors. But past experience has taught me that you are always at the center of some insane event.
How can you be so mean stabbing me with words like that?
Unfortunately, I do not have time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. I suggest you cooperate and tell me what you know.
Just stop Francie from whipping me from behind. I sure would hate if she whipped my behind.
I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you're up to is probably beyond my imagination. You know what exactly you did, Larry?
Nah, I don't really want to do that, Edgy. A lot more.
Confess now.
Oh. Well, I was up on the roof.
And why exactly were you up there?
You know, that wintry custom and legendary hero.
I knew it. Legendary? Hero?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up on one of the chimneys. When I got there, there was smoke pouring out of the chimney.
And?
Well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up.
Objection!
Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Now, I mean, now you're the one talking nonsense, Edgeworth.
Of course I know. I did graduate from junior high, you know.
And you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Yeah, but he'd also be pretty based, right?
Aw, crud.
Is this your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as a prime suspect in this murder?
Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa?
Objection!
Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours.
I don't know what that means, Edgeworth.
Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit.
No! Wait a sec, we're not in court.
Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon.
Oh, that. Well, I shook hands with the imposter in this room, you know?
And apparently you did.
Well, I totally forgot about it and left behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. I didn't even know it could do that. Ow!
Foolish fool, looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you? Who would believe such a tale?
Hold it!
Sorry, Miss Von Comma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry.
Edgy, you believe me. I knew our friendship is something special.
Even if Larry had simply forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means I'll have to prove his innocence from a different angle. Alright, now... yeah, I think we can call it. I don't remember exactly how long the first part of this video was, but I think it was around 20 minutes. So, we will call it here, and next time we will talk to the Pink Princess and figure out if we know her or not. And if we don't know her, then
Hell, that's just a new character to meet. Ain't it, partner? Pal? What do you think Gumshoe's doing right now? Well, alright. Glad we got to ruminate on that. Who knows? Who knows what he's doing? He's probably sticking to K like gum on a shoe, am I right? That was a missed opportunity back at the end of the last case when he was all saluting. Man, when I was watching the video back looking for a thumbnail, I was like, man, I should have said, I'm gonna stick to you like gum on a shoe, partner, pal. But I didn't think of it at the time. And then I was like, I could make it like the title of the video, but then it wouldn't work with the whole like Miles and the blah 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 like format that for some reason I decided to stick to, because like I couldn't think of what to call the second video. So then I said, what if I just had it titled similar to the first one? And now we have this whole running thing where every video is like a Nancy Drew title. Or Indiana Jones. Could be Indiana Jones, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, obviously I'm referencing Indiana Jones. Yeah, that's it.